Hi, in this series we look at few Microsoft Excel tips and tricks that can be incorporated in your work or school to increase productivity. In today's video, we are looking at the VLOOKUP function provided by Excel. VLOOKUP also refers to vertical lookup, can be used to look up a value from a given table and then pull that value and plug it into row. So this might look a little complicated, but the example we have set up for you today should make it give you a simple approach for VLOOKUP and help you and use this function going forward. So in today's example, we have two tables, simple tables. One has the employee information, which is name and what department they belong to. And the second is a department table, for example, which has all the departments that are in the company and the base salaries that are offered for that department. So today we'll use VLOOKUP to pull the base salaries for each user or each employee and then plug in those values. So you don't want to manually look at the table and then type in the salary. So say if John Doe belongs to department HR, you don't want to look at the table and then manually type in 40,000 as the salary, but go in and use a function that we are looking at today. So with any functions in Excel, type in the equal to operator and then type in the formula VLOOKUP. If you notice what Excel gives you, there are 4 parameters in these functions, or which means you need to supply 4 values for Excel to pull up the result. What are those values? So the first one is a lookup value. So what do you want to look at to pull the information out? So in this case, we want to see the employee's department and what base salary we want to assign it to the employee. So in this case, our lookup value will be the department. So we'll select the corresponding department for John Doe, that's HR, type comma. Next, the VLOOKUP function requires a table array. So table array is actually your source. So what table do you want to look up for that value? So where do you want to look for HR and get the salary? So that's this table. So in Excel, if you want to select a table, click on the leftmost, the column header, and then drag and drop drag your cursor till wherever the data is. So if you have 3 columns, you can select 3 or multiple columns. So in this case, since we have a 2 by 5 table, we'll just select that, and if you notice, Excel numbers it accordingly. So I1 through J5 is your table array. So now that we have defined the table array, we'll type in a comma. Now it requires a column index number. So what it refers to with column index number is if the value HR is found in the table array, what data should be returned. So in this case, for this table, the first index number, the column index number for department is 1 and column index number for base salary is 2. So in this case, we want to return the base salary, so I'll put in the column index number as 2. Next, the value, the last value that VLOOKUP function requires is, do you want to do approximate match or an exact match? So in this case, since our departments are an exact match of the departments from this table, we will type in false. We want to do an exact match. You also have the option to do approximate match when you don't know if the data from your table that you're doing a VLOOKUP for and the VLOOKUP table, if the data don't match up correctly, it will do the closest match and pull the value. For example, if there was a spelling mistake in accounting and it just said account, and that would match up to about 60%, and it will pull the value of base salary as 50,000, just as an example. But in this case, I'll go ahead and type in false. Now we have all the values set up. Hit enter. So if you notice, after I hit enter, what Excel did was it looked for the value HR in this table, and it saw that for HR, the row 2 is $40,000. So it pulled that value and put it here. So now we want to apply the formula to all the rows. But before we do that, one thing you notice here is the table doesn't change. So with Excel, when you drag anything forward, and if you look at this formula, it updates all the values. So in this case, it updated the row I, the table end value J6. So it just pushed your table one level below. So you don't want that to happen when you apply the formula. So to fix that, what we do is go back, and what we do, we go to the table array and then type in dollars in front of your start and end values. So that is I1 and J5. So what does dollar tell Excel? It tells Excel is this is a constant value. Don't change it when I apply this formula to other rows. So now let's try that again. I'll go back and then drag the formula to the second level. Now if I look at the formula, notice the table. It's I1 through J5. Only value that was updated was B3. So now that looks good. We will apply the formula to all the values. So if you notice, it pulls the value from that table, and your job is much easier now. So if you want to format this, select the column and then right click on format cells. So if you notice, this right now, this column is set to general setting, but we want to see currency as an option. So whenever you change the setting, it shows you a sample value, and if you're happy with it, click on OK. Now you've changed the formatting as well. Excel retains the VLOOKUP function, so you don't have to worry about that. So I hope this video was helpful in understanding VLOOKUP. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe our channel.